right, so hello everybody. We're back for more talk about what makes someone American, or what are some of the defining characteristics of an American. And okay, so we're back with Leon. So welcome. Hello, Leon.
Hello, Ben. Hey, everyone.
So what okay, give me something. What makes someone really American?
What makes someone really American? I would have to say that hmm, it's just the way you present yourself, just the way you dress. I think you can smell an American a mile away, or just because of how he dresses.
Mm-hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
tend to do a lot of jerseys. Sports. We represent what state we're in, what team we're in. We wear a lot of t-shirt and jeans, sneakers, caps is what everyone says. So I think just by looking at a person, you already know that that guy is an American. Even the way he walks, I mean, in my personal opinion, you don't even have to talk or say anything. Just the way he presents himself, the way he walks, and very casually, very, we're from the West Coast, so like surfer dude,
Yeah, yeah.
easygoing, right? Shorts, t-shirt, maybe caps. These are the things that stands out for me of what makes us American and identifying us as American from afar, without even talking to the person. I mean, what's your take on that?
Yeah, those things from afar when you just observe somebody in their body language. Or, like, for example, I read this thing about how Americans always like to lean on things. Like when they're standing, it looks like
Yes,
waiting. I didn't notice that until I thought about it. I'm like,
me
yeah,
too.
that's right. I
Yeah.
do. You do that. Do you
Uh-huh.
do that?
I do that all the time. Yeah, that's why it's
Oh.
kind of funny where you say that, because that is 100% correct. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just noticed that because like when I'm waiting in line at the store, at the coffee shop, at like a fast food place, I am leaning on something.
Right.
That's funny.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And
So
we're always making small talk too. But a lot of people from other countries do the same too. But it's just our nature, like whether we're bored or just amusing, and just make small talk. Hey, how's your day? And how's it going? We're always like asking things, right?
yeah, and that happens, I think, more in like smaller cities in the US. Whereas, for example,
Mm,
if you're in big cities, like see, like I don't know. I mean, are people making small talk as much, say, like in New York City, right? In
mm-hmm,
Manhattan,
mm-hmm,
versus
mm-hmm.
like in I don't know. I feel like yes, people do generally make small talk, but
Right,
not as much as in the smaller towns.
right. Yeah, true, true. And also depends in, like, if you're in LA too, right? Because it's an
Hmm.
entertainment industry. So
Yeah.
when you talk to people, they probably look at you like, okay, what does this person want? It's like a wall
Yes.
automatically, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
I've noticed that, being from Hollywood, I've noticed that a lot of people just they don't really want to be, it's terrible to say, but they don't want to be bothered. So they don't want people
Exactly.
talking to them versus
Yes.
other parts of the country. It's not a bother, it's just being
Yeah.
friendly.
Right. Yeah, it's like a big difference. I'm from Orange County, right, in the south of LA. And LA, like downtown Hollywood that you mentioned, when you're walking in front of a person and you look at the person, I mean, you smile at the person and you're like a ghost. They just like walk past you like nothing. Because like I
Hmm.
said, they're automatically saying, okay, what does this person want? He wants my number, he's trying to sell me something. But when you're in Orange County, you smile at a person, automatically they smile back. So it's like, and it's in LA too, right? I mean, but it's just two different vibes. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Because LA, Orange County being what, like an hour or so south of LA, it is a totally different vibe. People are
Hmm.
people are different. I feel like people are nicer
Hmm.
in Orange County.
Hmm.
When I was younger, I used to not like Orange County because we would always say, "Oh, Orange County is so boring compared to LA," right? But then as I got
Hmm.
older, I'm like, I really like Orange County. Things are
Hmm.
so, especially South Orange County, right, where things are so
Hmm.
orderly and so planned and so beautiful and so like
Right.
impossibly clean, like Newport Beach and Irvine.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, exactly. And it's just where better developed, I say, because it's a newer type county. And that's the thing too. Not many people really understand when they say, "So where are you from?" and you say LA. They think automatically like everything is LA. But to us, it's a bigger scale, right? I mean, when we say LA, it's really like LA City because we have an LA City, or is
Yeah.
it LA County, right? Like Ventura County, Riverside County, Orange County. We say LA, but in reality, is it really LA? And some people live off Victorville and outside Palmdale, and they still say LA, right?
Oh, right. That's actually still LA County, right? Palmdale, is it?
No, but
No.
Palmdale is no longer LA County. That's
Oh,
like
okay.
it's Palmdale or even Victorville. I don't think Victorville is LA County either
Oh, okay.
or
But people
anything because
say
there's
LA.
I think yeah I think there's like Riverside, San Bernardino, and then there's Ventura, Orange County, and LA County. So there's really five counties. But anything outside of that county, I mean, I don't think it's really LA, right?
Oh,
Some
yeah,
some people
exactly.
say
Yeah.
Lake Tahoe, Big Bear, and they say I'm from LA.
No, come
Really?
on.
Yeah.
That's
Some people do,
hundreds of miles
right?
away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So
But
I just
in
find
its
that
own right,
funny.
LA
Yeah.
is quite huge, though. LA is
Yes.
gargantuan.
Yes, exactly. But I just find it pretty funny, like especially in the English teacher community. Some people they say they're from LA, but actually they're nowhere near LA. And some of
Okay.
them they're no longer in LA and they live like say in Arizona, but they still say they're from LA, but they only lived in
Oh,
LA for like 2 years or 5 years, but they
I
like
see.
having that name LA for some reason. Yeah,
Maybe because
I
like
thought it's just interesting.
a lot of times people they might not know where you're from if you speak of a smaller town, because this is what I've
Hmm.
noticed with a lot of English learners is that when you ask them
Yes.
where they live, they're not able to communicate to you where they live in a meaningful way, in a way where the other person would understand. So uh,
Hmm.
if like for example, if you say you live in LA, you live in New York, you live in Chicago,
Hmm.
okay,
Right.
people probably will know where those places are because they're big cities. But if you live in, Springfield, well, we don't know.
Hmm.
First of all, there's many Springfields, but where the
Hmm.
hell is that? So a
Yeah.
lot of English learners don't know how to describe where they live. So I would have to tell them, why don't say your little town that nobody's ever heard of. Just say, I live
Hmm.
in a, you could say your small town. You could say, I live in Springfield. But you have to say more. You have to say, which is
Hmm.
3 hours west of, and then pick a big city that people might have heard of,
Hmm.
like New York.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, I think that people need to learn to be able to describe where they live like that,
Hmm.
in terms of a big city, north, south,
Hmm.
east, west. How many hours drive? How many
Hmm.
kilometers or whatever? And that's how you would describe where you live,
Hmm.
rather than just
Hmm.
throwing out the name of a town nobody's heard of.
Hmm. Yeah, like if people ask me where you're from, and if I say Newport Beach or Irvine or Laguna Beach, they have no clue. But if I say
Hmm.
LA, oh, okay, I know where LA is. And it's a
Hmm.
funny thing because you described, is it 1 hour away, 2 hours away? People don't real. That's another thing about us Americans. We determine the distance by time, not
Hmm.
by, the actual distance like mileage or
Yes,
kilometers. We
that's
don't
true.
we don't
Yeah.
even use kilometers, right? So it's
Right.
like, oh, so how far are you? Oh, we're like 2 kilometers or 5 miles. Oh, what time is that? Oh, it's about like 20 minutes. So that's very American for us. We determine it by the time, right?
Absolutely, because we're in the car. So
Hmm.
yes, we always know things by how long it usually takes to drive there. That's
Yes.
how we describe distances, by time.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Find it amusing.
Yeah, because anywhere else that I've been to, people always talk about like it's a certain number of like meters or kilometers away.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um,
And that's what a lot of people say. Why do you use that kind of, miles and Fahrenheit, and how come you use like what everybody uses, the Celsius, and that's what we know. That's what they taught us in school. So we're Americans. We don't plan to follow other, people's metric system or follow other countries. We want to be kind of separate, I guess. That
mhm.
what makes us different. I think that's what makes us different in terms of in that aspect. Because everybody else is using their metrics like Celsius, kilometers, and all that. So yeah, it'd be nice if we use that, but I don't think we're ever going to change. You know, we're still
Have
going to
you
use
learned?
Fahrenheit. Hmm.
Have you gotten used to the Celsius? Living in Brazil? No.
No, I kind of get a ballpark, like kind of estimate and kind of guess, but no. I know there's a calculation and all that, but I'm not going to go and try and calculate what the Celsius is and all that. So no, I
So,
just do a ballpark, like get an
okay.
estimate. Yeah.
So when I check the weather now, I always check both the Fahrenheit and
Mm,
Celsius.
hmm.
So I sort of have an idea now. I mean, like I know that if it's 30 degrees, it's warm.
Hmm.
25 is a
Right.
really nice temperature.
Uh-huh.
And below 20, not to me it's a bit cold, So I
Hmm.
got
Hmm.
that.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I'm the same way too. Kind of get an estimate on it. Like if it's a 90, mid 90s, it's somewhere in the 32, 33 Celsius. So yeah.
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
Um
Cool.
So, okay, let's talk about this thing meatloaf.
Uh-huh.
Why is meatloaf it's really American and it's really popular and it's something that is eaten like by a lot of Americans, right? Meatloaf. It's
Hmm.
like we think
Hmm.
of it as comfort food, right? So what is
Hmm.
meatloaf? How would you describe meatloaf to somebody?
I would say it's a meat that looks like a cake. It's the
Mm-hmm.
best way to describe it, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
actually meat, but it looks like a cake, but it's not a cake. It's meat, and it's ground meat, right? So, or ground beef. So, it has different type of varieties. Some people makes it differently. I'm not a fan of meatloaf.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more of a pot roast, sandwiches kind of guy, pastrami,
Mm-hmm.
corned beef, that kind of
Oh
stuff.
God, I
But
miss pastrami. Oh my God.
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Corned beef. Oh my gosh, I miss corned beef
Yes,
a lot.
yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I mean, meatloaf is a different, like you said, is a comfort food and something simple. I think it's easy to make, and parties, every parties you go to, there's always going to be a meatloaf. So yeah, it's very American. Yeah.
Would you say it's kind of like a burger, like a burger patty, except it's not round.
Yeah, it's
it's
like
thicker, like a cake shape
a patty
of a
cake.
burger. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah. It's like a rolled meat, like a rolled
yeah.
cake. Yeah. Except it's
I
a patty.
I do like meatloaf. I think it is quite good.
Mm. I the only reason I don't like meatloaf is because I'm not a fan of raisins, and they always put raisins on meatloaf, and that's one of the
Oh
reasons why I don't like
no, I
meatloaf.
don't want raisins on meatloaf.
Yeah, but they
People
always
do
put
that?
raisins. Yeah, they put raisins on
Oh,
meatloaf. So I'm not. That's why I'm not a much a fan of meatloaf. But if you
oh,
take out the
okay.
raisins, I'm cool with it. I like meatloaf. Yeah,
I wonder if
it's
it's
not my
like
go-to.
regional. Because like meatloaf, I usually think of it as with like maybe like a ketchup sort of brushed on top and sort of crusted, or
Mm,
with
hmm.
onions or onion gravy or something like that.
Hmm. Yeah, I eat meatloaf with ketchup. I mean,
Mm,
that's my
hmm.
go-to. So I can eat meatloaf without ketchup, but I gotta have my ketchup with meatloaf. Yeah, I don't know. Do you use ketchup or do you use other things, maybe mustard or something? Or how do you use
Oh,
that? Or you just eat?
mustard
Mm,
is good, but
yeah.
I don't necessarily put ketchup on the meatloaf. But I like it when they brush. It's not just ketchup; it's
Mm,
mixed with something else. They brush it on top and
right.
they put it in the oven so it kind of crusts up, and that's a
Uh-huh.
very nice flavor.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. Yeah. But when I eat my meatloaf, I kind of I like to have a little bit of ketchup on it.
Now, Americans love ketchup, and you really see this in like Europe because they're not
Hmm.
really that much into ketchup. Okay, so for example, if you order fries at a restaurant anywhere, it's like a
Hmm.
sin to serve French fries with no ketchup in
Yeah,
America, right?
exactly. Exactly. When they give you a French fries, automatically they'll give you the ketchup. Yeah.
I've never heard of people eating French fries without ketchup. Americans, they just don't eat French fries without ketchup. That's
Yeah. Yeah.
insanity.
Exactly. Yeah. The funny thing is about ketchup here in Brazil, I mean, it's a different culture. They eat pizza with ketchup. And
Oh,
I'm
oh
like,
wow.
for us Americans, that's like almost a sin, right? Maybe
Yeah.
Tabasco sauce, but putting ketchup on a pizza, we're like, oh no, it's like, oh, that's kind of a little bit gross for us, or,
Uh-huh.
no, no, you can't do that. But here in, I'm not saying all of Brazil does that, but majority that I've seen Brazilians, they put ketchup on their pizzas. Yeah. And for
Well, what
me,
kind of
that's kind of
pizza?
weird.
What kind of
It
pizza
could
is
be
it?
like a cheese pizza, it could be a margarita, like a vegetarian pizza, even pepperoni, or any kind of pizza.
Oh,
Yeah. Any pizza they have, they'll put ketchup on it. Yeah.
okay. Okay. So ketchup is on the sweet side. So is it
Right.
possible that like in Brazil they like tomato sauces to be sweet? Because like for example, when I'm in Spain, I noticed that a lot of their pasta sauces, like the jarred pasta sauces, they
Uh-huh.
typically are really sweet, and I find it disgusting because I don't want sweet
Mm,
tomato-based
yeah,
pasta sauce. Is that how it
exactly.
is in Brazil, where they like their tomato sauces to be on the sweet side? Because if
No,
that's how it is, no, okay.
no, yeah. I think maybe that's why they put the ketchup because you got the dough that's pretty salty and has salty flavor, so they put the ketchup to might be, blended together. Oh, here's a funny
Oh,
thing too. They have
mm.
like chocolate pizza. I'm like, chocolate
Chocolate
pizza.
pizza.
I mean,
Interesting.
that's like dessert. And they said, no, no, it's not a dessert. It's a pizza. And I said, no, that's a dessert. It says, no, it's a pizza. It's chocolate on a pizza. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I've
The
tried it,
chocolate is
but it's
sweet
not
or
my
no?
go-to. Yeah, chocolate is sweet. Yeah.
Their
I
chocolate is
mean,
sweet on the pizza?
yeah, they put
Oh,
chocolate on the top of the pizza instead of like, the tomatoes and the cheese. They put chocolate, and then they may put like M&Ms and things like that. And
so it's
that's
a
their
dessert
chocolate
pizza.
pizza. Yeah, it's a dessert pizza, exactly. But they say, no, it's a pizza. It's not even a dessert pizza. It's a pizza. Yeah.
They eat that for dinner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. They
That's
can eat that
interesting.
if they want it. Yeah. Some people have a sweet tooth, so they end up getting the chocolate pizza. Yeah.
That sounds like something at a kid's party or something,
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of, but adults eat it too.
but adults
Yeah.
eat it.
Yeah.
Because like in Italy, they have like a Nutella pizza, but that's a dessert.
Hmm.
They're not eating it like as a main course, at least I don't think.
Hmm. Hmm. Now, how is it is different because in Italy, like for example, our pizza, our tomato sauce is very thick. We don't use
Hmm.
a water it down, right?
Yeah.
But in Italy, my experience when I was in Italy, the sauce, the tomato sauce that they use, it was pretty wet, kind of watered down. It's not as thick like our Americans. How's your experience with that? Because you're more current in Italy and you visited many Italian, places and cities. So what's your take on that?
Well, it depends on what region also. Like, you're
Hmm.
talking about the pizza that's a little bit wet. So that's a
Yeah.
Neapolitan style. And I assume that the crust was not the
Mm.
thick crust, right? The one that you had
No, it
was
wasn't. Yeah,
okay.
that's
And it's a
correct.
little wet in the center. That's a Neapolitan style pizza. So
Mm.
I like the Neapolitan style like crust, but I don't like that it is wet in the middle.
Mm.
Um,
Hmm.
to be honest, and I don't know if I'm super American for saying this, and
Hmm.
I hope not to offend Italians, but
Right.
honestly, I have I've had acceptable pizza in Italy. However, I've had really good pizza in the
Mm.
US.
Hmm.
You
Exactly.
know, right? So
Hmm.
the
For
thing
me,
of
I
it
hate to
is,
say it, New York is the
yeah,
best for me. I mean, through my experience,
exactly,
right?
exactly.
Yeah. Even
Yes.
though we're from LA, right? Where it's kind of hurt us
Yes.
to say New York has the best pizza, but
But they
it is
do.
true. Yeah, exactly. Uh-huh.
A lot of people say, "Oh, there's the food in Italy is very good." Yes,
Hmm.
food in Italy can
Hmm.
be good.
Hmm.
I've had lots of not so good Italian food as well. But yes,
Hmm.
it can be good in Italy. It can be very
Hmm.
good. But
Hmm.
the fact of the matter is that the world goes to New York. The best of
Hmm.
the world goes to New York, and as we
Yeah.
know, that a lot of your talent from places like Italy and other
Hmm.
European countries with a struggling economy,
Hmm.
anybody who's good, they want to go to London. They want to cook in New York. They want to cook in
Hmm.
London, Dubai, Singapore. They
Yes.
want to go where the money is. So it's not
Hmm.
really a surprise that you're
Hmm.
going to find better, maybe as good or better pizza in New York.
Hmm.
It's not a
Hmm.
surprise, you know?
Hmm. Hmm. Exactly. Yeah. And speaking more on the food, I mean, I lived in Vegas for about 3 years, and being an LA Angelino, I mean, it's a big difference. I mean, they have like food chains or fast food chains, and also in Vegas, it's nowhere close to LA's fast food chain. And they're the same thing. Like, for example, In-N-Out, right? In-N-Out Burger. I go
Mm-hmm.
to Vegas and
Oh,
I go to
yeah.
California, it's a big difference. I mean, it doesn't taste as good for some reason.
Interesting. So the In
Yeah.
and Out. the In-N-Outs in California are noticeably better than the one in Nevada.
Yeah, and I think they only have it in Vegas. So
Oh,
and
okay.
even a lot of other restaurants too. And Vegas is I guess you could say is a very touristy spot, right? City.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of big brand names and very expensive restaurants. And the
Yeah.
food there is nowhere near the quality as LA, in my opinion. I mean, I'm a foodie and I like food, and I just find it that it's isn't as good, and people are just going there to Vegas because it's Vegas. They're paying a
Mm,
ton of money, but the
hmm.
quality is nowhere near LA, in my opinion. You know?
You know what? I think what it is that a lot of brands that are famous want to go to Vegas just because
Mhm.
they want an outpost there, and also at
Yeah.
the same time, there's a lot of money to be made there, and plus
Uh-huh.
everybody's kind of is drunk or high or something in
Exactly.
Vegas
Right.
anyway, so
Yeah.
so if it's not as good, people probably won't even notice, and people love
Right.
spending lots of money in Vegas. So there's many
Mhm.
reasons for them to be there.
Yes. And a lot of them are like transplant or out of town or different states, and they don't have that same, like we have the varieties in LA and the choices. So, if they're from a small town in a state in US,
Hmm.
they're not going to be able to try those type of food. And to
Exactly.
them, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, this is so good. But,
They won't know the
their
difference.
experience, yeah. But if you're
Mhm.
from LA, you're going to say, wow, this is really not that good, and I'm paying X amount of money for this. This is like a ripoff. Yeah.
Yes, yes, absolutely right.
Hmm.
Um, and what else here? Now, I will say that I don't know if you're into like clean eating. So when it comes to clean eating, I think LA is pretty unbeatable. California in general is pretty unbeatable for clean eating. You know what I mean? Like healthy,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
produce
Healthy and also
driven.
the yeah, healthy and also the cleanliness of the restaurant, right? Because we're probably the only state that puts a grade on the restaurant, right? We put A, B, C, D, or like a normal grading scale, like it's at school, right? So we
Hmm.
have the food, I don't know, the city government that goes there and actually visits the restaurant to see if it's clean, and they give them a grade. I
Did they
think
still
we're the
do that?
only, yeah, they still do that. I think
Oh,
we're the
okay.
only one that does this in compared to other cities and other states.
Oh,
So in
interesting.
terms of cleanliness that you mentioned, I think in the physicality of it, yeah, I would say we are. In terms of
Hmm.
the healthiest, I would
Hmm.
agree with you too, because LA is, well, at least Southern California, it's one of the healthiest city, I think, in my opinion, right?
Yeah,
Active,
yeah, yes.
yeah, prone of what they eat. Yeah, I would agree
Have
with that.
Have you ever been to Mozza Pizzeria in Newport Beach? I mean, it started in Hollywood, but have you been to the Newport Beach one?
I don't think I have. What's the name of it?
Mozza, Mozza.
I probably have, but I don't recall. No,
It's
I
near
can't
where
remember.
all the car dealers are on that. I don't know what's the name of that major thoroughfare,
Hmm.
but you know where all the car
Okay.
dealers are?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's near
It's
there.
like where Lexus is and Mercedes Benz, that kind of stuff.
Yes,
On
it's like this row of all these car dealers, like BMWs,
Yeah.
they're all of them. So it's right
Yeah. Uh-huh.
there.
Irvine Boulevard, I believe. Yes. Or
And
MacArthur, probably MacArthur Boulevard.
it's
Yeah.
no, it's along the ocean. It's along the ocean or by where the harbor is.
Oh, okay.
It's in Newport
So
Beach.
so that's on Highway 1, Pacific Coast Highway,
Yeah, maybe
PCH.
it. Yes, I
Yeah.
think it is
Okay.
PCH. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, got it. Yeah.
So that place,
I think I've been there. Yeah.
it's
One
got the
time.
best pizza. Honestly, the pizza is
Mm.
so good there. I miss their pizza a lot.
Mm, I went to one in I believe in Costa Mesa, and is it Costa Mesa or is it Santa Ana? I forgot now. But it's a city there that makes a really good pizza. I can't think of the name, but it's close to New York pizza,
The
in my
style.
opinion.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the style, the thin crust, the taste too. Of course, it's
Mm.
not 100% as New York pizza, but for me, I would think that's one of the best place. Yeah.
Mm,
At least
hmm.
in my experience in a pizza. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
do. The pizza in New York is very good. Um,
Hmm.
I feel like we have a whole discussion just on pizza.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Now, let me ask you this: do you consider pizza to be an Italian food or an American food? Because this is a very controversial thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, definitely it's an Italian, I mean, the original of the pizza, but
Yeah.
I think more people can resonate that pizza is an American food because that's
Hmm.
all they identify. You know, we have burgers, hot dogs, and pizza. That's
Yes.
it, right? So I think for them, they know it's the original is Italian, but they think pizza is more American, I guess. It's kind of weird to say. I don't know. What's your take on that?
You know, I think that obviously, yes, pizza has its origins in Italy,
Hmm.
but I think that it's just become world food where every culture has sort of their own
Yeah,
version or interpretation of pizza. Like you guys
yeah.
in Brazil, you put your ketchup on there, and we put like what we put barbecue chicken on ours, which
Hmm.
Italians find to be vile. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But every culture does their own version of a pizza, and I don't think at this point, I don't think pizza is really owned by any culture anymore.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Yeah, it's worldwide. Same thing as
Yeah,
burgers. Burger seems to be worldwide now too, right?
yeah,
Everybody has their own varieties, their own ways. So yeah, I think those are the two that stands out. Yeah. But if you look at it,
yes,
it's more a westernized culture, an American culture that kind of made it worldwide because of what they see in Hollywood, the movies, and people are learning the language, the English language. So when they watch series and movies, they see it. So it becomes, uh, an ambassador to around the world of American pizza and burgers, right?
right, right.
Yeah.
People, the first time they saw a burger was probably in the context of an American meal or something like that. We understand it
Hmm.
to be American. However,
Hmm.
it's it's been reimagined and adapted according to the culture it finds itself in.
Hmm. Hmm. And speaking of pizza, I mean, I love pepperoni and pineapple. People say, "Oh my gosh, you eat pineapple with pizza?"
Hmm.
And not many Americans agree too. Some Americans don't like the pineapple on their pizza, but
Hmm.
having the two pepperoni and pineapple, I love it. I mean, I kind of created that years ago, and
Hmm.
everywhere I went on cities and state, I always order when I create my own pizza, pepperoni and pineapple, and some Americans, they say, when they deliver to my hotel and they say, "Oh, wow, that smells really good." And I said, "Grab a piece, because I can't finish it." And when they try it, they say, "Wow, this is really good." So, I mean, it just depends on your taste bud. I'm not a fan of the Hawaiian pizza, which is the Canadian ham and pineapple. I tend to enjoy more of the pepperoni and pineapple. Yeah.
Okay. So pineapple on pizza seems to be very divisive. A
Yes.
lot, yeah, a lot of people really hate it. A lot of
Hmm.
people, I mean, the ones who like it, they really
Hmm.
like it. I think there's
Hmm.
nothing wrong with pineapple on pizza. It's not so much about putting pineapple on pizza as much
Hmm.
as it is about what you put it with. What do you pair it with?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And in Italy, I'm sure putting pineapple on a pizza, that's like a sin, right? It's
Yeah,
like,
they don't like
no.
it.
Yeah. It's like an insult. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
But I find that at the same time, like my Italian friends, they'll tell you that no, you can't have pineapple on a pizza. However, they're not able to articulate necessarily why it doesn't work.
Hmm.
Because and then I'll tell them, but you have to understand. And there is a book, okay, it's
Hmm.
called the Flavor Bible. Certain
Hmm.
certain foods pair well together, certain
Yeah.
flavors, and
Uh-huh.
in fact, chemically speaking, the tartness and sweetness of pineapple marry
Hmm.
well with the saltiness and sometimes a little
The
bit of
spiciness
sweetness
of
in
the
a
pepperoni.
pork
Yeah.
and spiciness of pepper
Yeah.
of a pork
Hmm.
product of a pork
Hmm.
product. It's a
Yes.
very good combination.
Yes. That's correct. And speaking of flavor, I mean, pepperoni with green pepper really goes well together. And I don't know,
Yes,
many
yes.
many countries actually use green pepper with pepperoni. But actually, the smell is very aroming. I mean, the aroma of that is really, satisfying, and
Hmm.
yeah, the taste too. I mean, it's unbelievable between those two flavors. Yeah, pepperoni and green pepper. Yeah.
I think that really on a pizza, anything is possible,
Hmm.
so long as you like it. Because I think of a pizza anyway as a blank slate. It's like rice. It's
Hmm.
like potatoes. Just
Hmm.
put on it whatever you
Hmm.
want to eat with it, right?
Hmm. Hmm. And speaking about all American potato, right? We
Ah,
have to have
yes.
potato in everything, right? Whether it's French fries, baked potato, mashed potato, uh,
Mm-hmm.
hash brown, right? We have to have
Oh my
potato.
gosh,
And
I missed that.
yeah, yeah, me too. I miss the hash browns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I really miss the hash browns, and I think the tater tots. I love the tater
Oh,
tots
those are
too.
good too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Not many people know what a tater tots are, so it's really good. Yeah.
I miss a nice baked potato, the kind that, where they bake it with not wrapped, but
Hmm.
unwrapped. And so
Hmm.
you what you have is on the outside a nice sort of crispy jacket
Hmm.
with inside
Yes.
pillowy soft potato. And then I love putting
Oh
like
yeah.
well, we love putting like butter and sour cream and chives
Yeah.
in our, that's
Hmm.
sort of the standard, the
That's the go-to.
trilogy. Yeah,
Yes. Correct.
the
Hmm.
Trinity rather. Um,
Hmm.
and I love that. I miss that. I haven't had a baked potato like that in a long time.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I haven't had that kind of food in a long time. That's one thing I miss the most is the American food. And the thing I miss about in Brazil too is the English language, because in the US everything is in English, right? People are
Mm-hmm.
talking wherever you go. I kind of miss that part. Yeah.
So you don't speak Portuguese, you say. So how do you
Yeah.
get by day to day, just being an English speaker in Brazil?
Just the body language, I've
Okay.
traveled, countries, 20 countries around the world, so but not actually live there. So
Uh-huh.
when you're traveling, I mean, you don't speak that language, so you do a lot of body language, pointing
Hmm.
fingers of what you want, and you can see the price, the register, and things like that. So, yeah, that's the way I get by. And of course, you have your cell phone, Google Translate or something, or get an app that can translate for you.
Hmm.
But other than that, yeah, I get by, you know.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, thank God for Google Translate. I mean, I think of the days, years ago before Google Translate and how difficult it was, and now really it's not that hard anymore.
Hmm. Exactly. And hopefully they'll come up with maybe an app that maybe not an app, but some translator that will actually translate for you in real time, whatever language you choose, not having
Oh,
to
that
have
would
like
be
a
amazing.
Wi-Fi or something. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You mean like even without a Wi-Fi connection?
Yeah,
Just
without a Wi-Fi
okay.
connection. Yeah. Hmm.
Oh yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, it'd be nice. But I mean, it's a disadvantage of me by not speaking Portuguese. Some people wants to talk to me, some people I'm in line. It's like in US where they talk to you, small talk, just a conversation, and I can't talk to them because I don't speak their language. But I do know their culture, so that's where, I need to know the culture because if I do something that it could be offensive, I don't want to be in trouble by anyone or cause trouble. So that's an important thing to learn is the culture. Maybe I might not know the language, but at
Mhm.
least I definitely need to know the culture. Yeah.
So when okay, let me ask you this. Let's say just at a shop out in public, do people generally just assume that you are a local? Because like I don't know, do people just like, for example, me, because I'm of Asian descent, obviously
Hmm.
they know that I'm
Hmm.
not
Uh-huh.
Italian, right? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But
Yes,
like,
right.
so I guess the question is, do you look like the locals? And then secondly, when they discover that you're not and you can't speak Portuguese, what is the response?
Yeah, I mean, automatically they think I'm a local. They speak to me in Portuguese. They think I'm Brazilian. Once I
Hmm.
don't, and I start speaking the English language, no, like American, or I say no Portuguese, Inglés, then they know like automatically, oh, he's American.
Okay.
I mean, that's their first interpretation is because I said English. So
Uh-huh.
automatically
Okay.
they think I'm American. Yeah. But it could be different varieties, like, physicality. I can say, okay, well, you look, maybe from parts of Asia, or maybe you look probably some part of Europe, or so they really can't determine where I'm from. if I'm not
Oh, okay.
Brazilian. Yeah.
I get you.
But
Okay.
but walking around, somewhere, whether it's a mall or in the street or anywhere, they look at me. And the reason they look at me is automatically they know that I'm not from around here. Because as I told you earlier, how can you determine if you're American just by the how you dress, how you hold yourself, how you walk? So I think based on this, they automatically know that I'm a foreigner, that I'm not from a local in their point of view. Maybe they second guess, oh, he's probably different, he's Brazilian, but they look is because I don't dress like the locals. It's because, when you go to a different country, you bring your culture with you, right? So that
Right.
means of your style, your fashion, how you present yourself, how you walk, things that you learn in US. So those things can't be taken away from you. So when you go to other countries, you bring that with you, and the locals automatically know, well, he does not dress like other people here in our city, or he doesn't walk like other people in our city, or that kind of stereotyping. They're guessing, second
Mm-hmm.
guessing. Yeah,
Okay. Okay, cool. So
yeah.
I'm seeing that we're up on the clock here. We've been going for about 45 minutes. So I think
Oh
this is
wow.
yeah, already so quickly. No, wait, longer, right? No, we're right about 45 minutes. So
Mhm.
I think this is a good natural breaking point, and then
Okay.
we can pick up again in the next episode.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you, Leon, for joining again. And we're going to be
Thank you too,
back.
Ben.
Thank
Hmm.
you with another episode where we're going to talk more about Americanness. So see you guys or in the next episode. Okay. Bye for
Yeah.
now. Bye, Leon.
Bye, everyone. Bye, Ben.